had the pleasure of obviously working with all of the emerging leaders through the year, and it has been super great to see what all of you have accomplished in the last 9 months and pushing yourself out of your comfort zone by speaking in front of people and improv classes and all that different stuff. It's been awesome to see you guys do all of that stuff and more. So, Andrew, you want to kick it off?
I am here to talk about Susan. So it's kind of cool. Susan is actually celebrating 2 years today. She's an open hand, open heart. She's here to help out and do anything, regardless if it's her job title or not. I'm here tonight to talk about Taylor here. I met Taylor about 10 months ago now. He's actually shares a very special place for me. He's my first ever manager I actually had to hire. He really does a lot of things for the department, puts the department on his back every day, which is great.
Ben Schmidt-Helm. So Ben takes a position within the last 6 months as manager at the power sports store running their service department, which had needed somebody to come in leadership. I know they're super excited for what Ben brings to the table. And so like a lot of emerging leader stories, it's just somebody that's willing to put the work, invest in themselves, and keep moving on up.
What I would tell someone who's looking to join emerging leaders is to just dive in and be fully committed. There's going to be literature, there's going to be things to read and questions to think about and things to apply to your normal life. So definitely something that's worth it from a networking standpoint within the company, getting to know our coworkers, but also something that's going to actively make you better. So if you commit 100%, you're going to get the most impact out of it.
I'm here to speak on behalf of Kassidy Hansen, service consultant, McGrath Ford. This is a start for us. We now understand why we wanted to be in a position where leadership was exciting for me. It was an opportunity for me to learn more about it, progress from being a shuttle driver to being a consultant in the B2C, and really put herself and express some intentions as far as her desire to arrive at the position that she's here today.
I have the honor to talk about Steph tonight. Steffany has contributed so much to the service department and the dealership. She's known for always trying to find better, more efficient ways of doing things. Most recently, Steph stepped into an internal advisor role and works tirelessly every day to make things run smoothly between sales and service. Because she continues to learn and get better every day. And great job, Steph. Congratulations.
I did write a few things for Steph. I just want to say I'm so proud of you. She does not let things get to her, and you will often hear her say, no, it's part of life.
I'm on behalf of David Roach. Many of you might not know, but David actually started with McGrath back in 2000. David has been really solid. He does a great job leading people, and I think this program has helped him to kind of see what happens outside of detail and see where detail fits in with the rest of the company.
I am here tonight to talk about Colin Peters. I have had some people go through this program, and I have to tell you that this is an amazing program. I don't care who the customer is, he is there, and he is a consummate professional for us on the service drive.
I have the pleasure of introducing Emma Welter tonight. We joyfully loved her and welcomed her. And she has been with us since November of 2022 and just from the get-go killed it. Emma, do you know how to work PBS or Reynolds? No. Okay, here you go. And she just did it.
Most surprising thing about emerging leaders was the activity that we did with the Kenwood kids. I enjoyed learning a lot with them about their habits of leadership, and I think their knowledge is very applicable to everyday life.
I got the privilege to talk about Aaron Woodward tonight. He is, when he's at work to work. Like, there's nobody in the store, in the company that I believe is going to outwork him. He's there to work, but he also knows how to have fun, maybe sometimes a little bit too much fun.
Probably the most surprising thing that I learned was just how much you can develop your current leadership skills that you have and just honing in on how much better you can be.
Hunter has evolved greatly since joining us at McGrath Power Sports in October of 2020. So I have definitely seen that growth in personal and professionalism through, interacting. You can definitely tell you have that relentless pursuit of growth, wanting to learn, get better.
The most surprising thing about emerging leaders to me was just the community service aspect. I'd always known that doing community service was a good thing. It's something that we should all take part in. But the diaper drive and helping out the family in need really kind of spoke with me.
I'm here to say a few words about Michelle Simmons. She's always had a really strong desire to learn and to just be an asset to the company and to the team. Not only is she learning about herself, but she's learning about herself and how she can apply that to become a great leader for her team. So I really commend her for stretching herself that way.
Tonight I'd like to speak about Eli Foreman. Eli is a sales consultant with McGrath Kia. He told me that he was ranked in the world for a specific video game. It showed me one thing that I really took a bet on, and it's something that Eli and I have a kindred spirit over. It's obsession. If you want to be ranked in the world for anything, for like playing the piano, if you're literally just tapping on it, you have to be obsessed over something.
I also have the pleasure of talking about Jocelyne. I would consider Jocelyne kind of a silent killer. Because if you see her or talk to her, she's probably fairly quiet, maybe laid back. But the second you put her on a task or a project or ask her a question on what would you do in this situation, every time she has absolutely knocked it out of the park. So having that ability to just take on a project, have that confidence to do that, and bring in an expertise has been super, super helpful.
First thing I want to say is if you're in this room, pat yourself on the back. You didn't get here by being lazy. Mark White, my Yoda. Mark has a unique position at McGrath Kia. A lot of you might not be privy to what a shop foreman does. He has to deal with service writers, technicians, customers, and the service manager. Mark's critical thinking is beyond my comprehension. I'll get to a spot where I get a little spun, what have you. You know, you guys don't know how I can get. Mark can take that situation and bottle it up, slow me down, stop me, spin it, and show me how to look at it in a different direction. And he's gotten me.
Let's give it up one more time for our emerging leaders of 2023.